Good morning, YouTube. It's Queen Pam, Elon QP, hands ashy as usual. I'm here for Stencil Club, and I'm one of the stencil voices for the month of May. And I received a set of stencils created by Andrew Borloz, and this is the 9x12, the 4x4, and the 6x6. And I'm just going to play in my art journal and see what I come up with. The majority of this video may be silent unless I figure out how to do voiceovers. So I'm going to start by gessoing my page with Ultrek Professional acrylic gesso in just a random type fashion. I'm going to spread it on. If I get a dirty one, you'll be able to see it better. Well, okay, just a dirty credit card type thing. Off camera, I was able to get the jar open. And I just like to dip in and apply some gesso. I like to apply it with this rather than a brush because then I don't get smooth coverage. That's not what I'm looking for. I do have an idea of what this is going to be like, but I don't have a plan really for the background. I do have a finished plan, and we'll see if that plan works out. It doesn't often work out. Under my pages, I have some plastic paper that I was hopeful would be like EPO, but it is in no way like EPO. So I'm using it to protect my pages because it is most definitely plastic, and so there'll be no leak through, bleed through whatsoever. And I'm going to dry it. This heat gun is relatively quiet, so I can use it on camera. And you can see where some of it's still wet, and I don't want it wet, so I'm going to hopefully make sure I get a good dry. If you hear the floor squeaking, my husband is walking overhead. I work in our basement where I have plenty of space for my rustic palace. It's an unfinished area in our basement, and he wanted to finish it, but I didn't, because then it would be too pretty for me to spill paint on or whatever, especially the floor. He's like, don't you want the concrete covered? No, I do not. I do not want to have to worry if the paint spills or something like that happens. So I'm not seeing a whole lot of shiny spaces. I'll give it just a little bit more in this area. It looks a little still wet. And I think I'm going to start out with sprays. They are mixed media marabou art sprays. They are mostly non-movable after you get them applied. This one is called aubergine, and this one is plum. And those are the colors that they are. I do like that they make the speckles when you spray them. From far away, or you can get closer. And you can splat them and get that kind of patterning. And that looks blue on the camera, but it's really purple to me, and I don't know. Yeah, it's looking blue, but it's purple. So I'm going to give that a dry. Actually, I think I'm going to lay down a stencil and pick some up with a baby wipe. I was using the 9x12 stencil, and I'm going to put it down on the other side and do the same thing. So, spreading the color around. And that's where I am so far. I'm going to put it back because I want to spread the color a little more over here in these corners along the edge. And that's what I've got so far. And now I'm going to dry it. I like this 9x12 stencil because it's got like a lot of borders. But I didn't use it as borders, but in the future, I probably will. I'll bring you in while I'm drying so you can see what it looks like. Still end up with some speckles in the background. I'm going to clean up some of the spray it got everywhere, because it is spray and that's what it does. Goes where you spray it. Now I'm going to think about what I want to do next. I allowed it to dry off camera, and I have some matte acrylic red ink. And a small jelly plate. That one good. that I am going to use like a stamp. Well, I think I will lift some up, get a pattern, and I did lift some off. A little bit left. Some more. I want it to stay wet a little bit, so I have some open. It's not going to focus. By golden, open, acrylic, and matte. You only need a little because it will stay open a long time. Mix good. Yep, it is nowhere near being a finished background, so I can appreciate you saying, wow, that looks like a hot mess. And it often is a hot mess at the beginning. But if it's a hot mess, then it's not done. So I just keep going until I get to a place where I like it. So I'm going to dry this and be back. And now I've got some dark blue acrylic, and I'm going to do a wash. Okay. And I've got some distilled water. I'm just going to water it down a little bit because I do want it to be a wash. I've got a mister because I do not want it to dry. Yep, I could have used the glazing medium, but I didn't think about that. I'm going to mist it again so it stays wet. And I'm going to do the same kind of lifting, but I only want, I should have thought of that a lot sooner. I'm going to get my baby wipes and lift off these lightning bolt type designs. And it's picking up on the back. So that's not working because I misted it. But we'll keep going. So I'm going to dry it. So I'm going to prepare my stencil so that I can isolate just that part. And then I'm going to use some black gesso. I'm going to place my focal image in this area. So what I'm going to do is give it a little bit of a white stenciling to make it stand out. A little bit with the 4x4. I have a Posca. This is a 1.3 millimeter and it's new, so we have to get it started. That didn't take long. I don't think you guys necessarily want to watch me filling in a word, so I'll be back when I have the words filled in. Now I'm going to give some highlights to the words and the lightning bolts. This is a Uniball signal. And then I want to do some outlining with some stamps, just these little bitty dot stamps, and some Ranger Archival Black. Around the perimeter. And I'll be back when that's done. And here she is, Wonder Woman. I'll bring you in for some close-ups as much as I can. And thanks Stencil Girl for letting me be a part of Stencil Voices, and I will be back again in June. Another set. As always, I leave you in the hands of the Creator. Be blessed.